Another weekend in Chicago means people getting shot.
Again, parents, know where your kids are. When you know your kid is going into a space that they are not familiar with, that they do not frequent, why would y'all let them go?
Chicago, we are bankrupt.
Our local police department will not ever cooperate with ICE.
You know what? At this point, I kind of feel like I'm being trolled because I just do not understand. Earlier this week, we talked about the back to school season, parents acting crazy, rewarding bad behavior, and the effect it has on their children. Just when you think it can't get any worse, here comes a teacher, yes, a teacher who goes by the name of JRoy, deciding to throw a massive party on the west side of Chicago. I mean, we're talking 800 to 1,000 kids and young adults in attendance. But of course, I don't want you guys to take my word for it. I want you to go ahead and take a listen to this clip. Go ahead and take a listen. Now, I cannot get into the mindset of a parent who will let their children participate in some of the things that I see happening. I've been talking about this constantly, the way parents behave around their children, what they allow their children to do, and it just keeps getting worse. Like, do these kids even get punished anymore? I know, like, people shouldn't whip their children. I'm saying, like, do they, like, do the thing where they take the phones or any kind of punishment? Because, like, from what I'm seeing, the answer is no. And the part that blows my mind, people in Chicago know that there's a gang problem. They know that there's a violence problem and still think it's a good idea to pack hundreds of young people in one location to get high and drunk. Basic common sense says maybe, just maybe, you don't pile 800 to 1,000 kids in a party in a city where the crime rate is through the roof. Literally, people are living in a war zone, but apparently common sense isn't so common anymore. And to put the icing on the cake, this wasn't ran by some random person. It was a teacher. The parents aren't outraged. They are not protesting. They're not doing anything, actually. The community will protest everything that doesn't help the Black community. But when it comes to things that would make a difference, silence. I am not kidding. This is crazy. Every time I think Chicago might be turning a corner, something like this happened. And it reminds me that we are in serious trouble. Welcome back to the channel, guys. I am Carmen JC. If you're new here, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. You can also support the channel by dropping a super thanks or tapping the buy me a coffee link below. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Another weekend in Chicago means people getting shot.
There were 20 shooting incidents. 32 people were shot. This includes fatal and non-fatal. A total of 4 people died.
But this weekend was different because one of the shootings happened at a teen takeover party called Club JRoy.
Many questions about several shootings in the city's Austin neighborhood over the weekend. It does seem they were all connected to a massive party with hundreds of people that were in the street.
Videos posted on social media and audio from police dispatchers give some insight into what first responders were up against.
800 to 1,000 people. Our officers are outnumbered.
Some videos online show hundreds of people in the streets in Austin, calling it a Club JRoy event.
Ah, Club JRoy, of course. How could I screw that up?
Another post indicates the event went on for 10 blocks.
The 22-year-old party organizer posted on social media both before and after the violence on TikTok. He talked about shutting the party down due to threats, but ultimately chose to keep it going.
I thought about canceling that, but we still on. Oh, yeah. His party dangerous. We done had how many parties, brother? 3.
Well, after watching that, who would want to miss this party?
The location of the party was changed at the last minute, but it still drew over 1,000 people.
The person we spoke with has been living on this block for years. She says it's an older community that lives on this particular street, which is right across the street from a school as well. She says in all of her years living here, she has never seen a crowd this large.
This is the one person that was killed in all of this. We've just learned who she is. Her name is Jashira Blackhawk.
Now, can we be effing for real? The fact that a girl was killed who wasn't even from Chicago is insane. People were driving from out of state to come to this party, and someone actually got hurt. There were 7 shootings, okay? 7 different shootings where multiple families have to deal with this trauma that they didn't have to, all because adults decided to throw a party that was considered to be more important than safety. Now, the Black community should be alarmed by this, but of course they're not. We're regressing instead of progressing. And I'm telling you right now, it's going to get worse. If you want to keep burying your friends and your family members, by all means, keep going down the path we're going down. But if you actually want to see a difference in your community, I suggest you tighten up. Because when I tell you that this is problematic, I mean, this is beyond problematic. 2 generations from now, we won't even recognize any value in Black culture. That is alarming. Okay. And what makes my blood boil is that this was hosted by a teacher. I know I keep saying that, an actual teacher who goes by the name of JRoy. Now, if you don't believe me, let's go ahead and take a look at this.
Have about 3 more minutes for breakfast. Okay, you got 3 more minutes. And 3 more minutes for the morning journal. Sea turtles, journals up, meet me at the carpet. Dolphins, journals up, meet me at the carpet. Sharks, journals up, meet me at the carpet. Ask you something. If I'm asking you to do something, it's for a reason. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Good morning, 214.
Good morning, Mr. Williams.
Try it again. Good morning.
Mr. Williams.
Good morning. Stand for our daily affirmation. Yep.
Yep.
Type.
And after all this chaos that happened, he had the nerve to post a video saying that it was a successful night. That is disgusting. It is embarrassing. And apparently Miss Neighborhood Hero felt the same way because she's going to say something about it. And honestly, she's going to say my exact thoughts. Let's go ahead and take a listen.
I am so over the way these things happen in our communities, okay? In our neighborhoods, because these are not communities. Communities don't behave like this. Communities don't have mass fucking shootings, okay? Because community is an action word. It's something that you do. It's not somewhere that you live. Again, they threw this big ass, some dude who's a school teacher, threw this big ass block party that spanned for blocks, okay? Several shootings. There were 7 to be exact. 7 fucking shootings yesterday up until like 1:30 in the morning, okay? Somebody's child was killed and the mother says that this baby wasn't even from the city. Again, parents, know where your kids are. When you know your kid is going into a space that they are not familiar with, that they do not frequent, why would y'all let them go? There were so many people that got shot last night. And this is exactly why I don't let my kids go places. This Club JRoy shit been trending for weeks. I saw it. I saw parents dropping this shit in parent group chats on Facebook to make sure they knew, hey, make sure y'all kids don't go to this. It looks like it's going to be some mess. Just putting y'all on notice. So if we knew about it, it's been trending for weeks. CPD should have known about it. These goddamn organizations that get multi-million-dollar grants and funded should have known about it. Street intervention, y'all should have known about it. All these motherfuckers that call themselves being OGs and have street cred, y'all should have knew about it. Why is it that y'all were out there after all this shit happened? Y'all was supposed to be in position. Y'all was supposed to go holler at Buddy that promoted this shit, that trended it. Y'all was supposed to go get him. Why would you want to go somewhere where there was absolutely no control? You can't control what's going on. Them kids was high. They was drunk. Them kids was dancing on people's cars. Y'all daughters is out of fucking control. And y'all sons is trying to impress them girls. It's always going to be bad. Nothing good will ever come out of shit like that. I don't understand the thought process behind y'all just letting these kids go and roam fucking free. I got my daughter location. I got my son location. I got my other kids location. So the fact that y'all just make it seem like this shit is normal, man, I'm telling y'all are going to lose more and more young people because nobody wants to set a fucking standard. Nobody wants to be an adult. Nobody wants to set a bar and say enough is enough. I'm over y'all. 7 fucking shootings.
This lady is absolutely right. Parents have to be very proactive in their children's lives. You cannot just sit back and let these kids do whatever they want, especially when you know these neighborhoods are not safe. We as Black people, as Americans, have to do a better job. Parents have to do a better job at how they're showing up and how they're allowing their children to show up. These phones have locations, like this lady said. You can absolutely know where your child is, who they're with, what they're doing. And if you're not doing that, honestly, some of these parents just need to be charged and held accountable. Why is your children out here running the streets? Why do they have guns? Why do they even have ops? Okay, like, why is this a thing? Not to mention, they think the solution to all their problems is to shoot someone rather than, solve their conflicts. I know it's a crazy concept, but yeah, It's just not going to happen as long as parents continue to behave how they're behaving and allowing their children to behave in these ways. What is going on in these neighborhoods, it is absolutely ridiculous. That's what we're seeing over and over and over again, day after day, and nobody seems to have a problem with it. But everybody wants to parade around talking about Black Lives Matter. It is beyond disgusting. And speaking of Black Lives Matter, I'm going to put an APB out on BLM. Funny how they can organize overnight for national headlines, but when it's our children bleeding at home, suddenly the batteries in the megaphone die. Now, Chicago has a Black mayor, and yet nothing is being done. Nothing is getting better. And what does that tell you about the people who's being elected? It tells you that they're not making a dent in the actual problem. The number one issue in Chicago should be crime. That's what the focus should be. But no, instead, they're worried about giving people boots on their cars if they get tickets, or making sure they have a sticker, or my favorite one, illegal immigrants. Meanwhile, they're not making sure these children are safe. And at the very least, they're not making sure they can freaking read. This is absolutely crazy. Making sure these children are safe should be the bare minimum. And the fact that it's not happening is absolutely ridiculous. And just so you know, Neighborhood Hero is not done yet, because the next part, she's going to say exactly what everyone needs to hear. Let's go ahead and take a listen.
From every call that I just had, all of those people that just called me had a conversation with this young man and asked him not to do this. And he did it anyway. Why? That fucking pride and that ego and having followers and shit like that. I told y'all, that clout shit is killing y'all. It's killing y'all. Y'all want so badly to be known, to be liked, to have some type of notoriety, but y'all don't want to do the shit the right way. Y'all want to go against everything that could possibly save y'all lives. And I'm going to tell y'all just like this. Pride comes before destruction. Warnings come before destruction. If that many people would have came to me and said, man, we don't think you need to do this, it's over with. It's over with. It's the young women in the comments that's doing the most capping. Y'all capping harder than the young men are. Why? Because y'all think y'all know everything. And the whole time, y'all fucking awareness be at a zero, my nigga. Be at a zero. Y'all don't even be built for the shit that y'all get yourselves into. Y'all want to get dressed up and get cute. I ain't never in my life wanted to put on clothes, get my hair done, nails done, all of that shit to go stand on a block. That's what y'all get reduced to. I just saw a shorty that grew up on my block say it wasn't shit but weaves and aloe out there last night. That's what they think of y'all. That's what they think of y'all, bro. And y'all still want to get under my fucking posts when I'm telling y'all, and I've been telling y'all since I started on TikTok, they taking these girls up out of here. Bro, y'all ain't shit but a liability. Any person that will let y'all hang out in a spot where it's going to be some fucking chaos and confusion don't give a fuck about you. You and your girls out there shaking ass and they loading them bitches up. Whole time. But y'all know everything. So you can call me bitter. You can call me old. I'm 40. I can move when I want to, how I want to, where I want to, when I want to. You hear me? On my time. I can leave Chicago and go travel and do other things on my time. Why? Because I have common sense. I know when to listen. I know where to be. I don't have to be in every space. Y'all need to do better. Y'all need to do better. And until then, watch how many, every single time it's a casualty, it's a young lady in there somewhere. It's a young lady in there somewhere, or multiple. But again, y'all know everything.
Man, she is absolutely killing it. I swear, I feel like she's hosting my show today, because she is right. The self-awareness out here is non-existent. People will make excuses for anything. No street smarts, no common sense, no nothing, especially in Chicago. You would think that people would want better than to be around someone who is probably hot and wanted in the streets when, you don't know these people. But no, they walk around in danger and then act surprised when chaos shows up. And again, this is a teacher we're talking about. He could rally 1,000 children for a party, but can't rally them for a book club. And people wonder why the reading scores are in the gutter. This is just absolutely disgusting. And we have to do better as a people, because the children are suffering. And you guys don't see it right now, but I'm telling you, your future is not bright. So apparently, with everything that's going on, JRoy felt the need to respond to the accusations going around, including whether he was suspended or fired from his job. So I'm going to let you hear what he has to say straight from him. Go ahead and take a listen.
Shorty, once again, y'all on this bitch just running y'all mouth. All right, Shorty, first thing, I did not get fired. I am suspended with pay. I was removed from the school due to me being under investigation. And the second thing, Shorty, I didn't throw a party on a random ass block. That's my hood. Bitch, I grew up over there. I lived the next block over. And due to the parties I already had been on my block, the first two parties I had, the police already had my block where I live. Shut the fuck down. So we moved the party over to the next block where I know damn near everybody live on that block. Let's clear this up too, Shorty. There were multiple block parties in the same area that my party was. Out west was busting Saturday. Everybody threw block parties. There was a block party that way, this way, this way, this way. That's why everybody was still outside in the same area. Every party in that area was not my shit. People were saying it was JRoy shit to get clout, for motherfuckers can gravitate to their block. That was not my shit. I had one location, and then the second location I had was nowhere near that area. Also, shorty, let me clear this up. I posted a TikTok and said another successful Club JRoy, because when I left the block, it was successful. And then when I went to my second location and left that location, it was successful. I didn't know none of the events that happened until the next morning. I wasn't aware of nothing until the next morning. That's why I posted that TikTok. So them only clearing up the false allegations, because y'all in this thing, I had it on unfamiliar block, like it was like gang. What the fuck is y'all even talking about? Why would I go party in somebody else's hood? And I didn't cancel it because the threats that was being made, the person that made the threats, he DM'd me and said, hey gang, I was just trolling. I just didn't want my girl to go, yada, yada, yada. And I left her on like, all right, cool. Like, I don't even play those type of games. I was worried about everybody's safety, but shit, if you say you was just playing, I bet. And then y'all saying, oh, I left. I did leave the party. Once I saw the people tweaking with the police as if busting their car windows, throwing bottles at them, on my brother, I didn't want no parts. I got him, I stood on top of my car. I told the DJ, let's go. I said the location to everybody out loud. And I got in my vehicle and left. It's not on me if you didn't hear that. Y'all keep saying, oh, you're a teacher, you're about your career. You shouldn't throw a party if you were a teacher. Gang. What the fuck does me have to be an educator have to do with something about me throwing a party?
As you can see, he can clearly speak how he wants to when he wants to. He can jump in and out of, ghetto talk to proper English. 1 second is gang this and gang that. And then the next second, he's speaking proper English. And to be honest, I would be worried if I had someone who uses the word gang to identify people teaching my children. It would worry me. And I would be calling up to the school. I would be calling up to the school. See, now that I think about it, I would be one of those parents that would be probably like looking at the teacher's IG and stuff like that. I would try to figure this out. Like, I would probably I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but I would just want to know who's teaching my children, because a lot of these teachers seem to be problematic just as much as the parents are problematic, and specifically these Black teachers. Sorry. Now, I would also be worried if I saw a teacher with such lack of accountability in charge of my children's education. And as a teacher, the fact that he has minors around him drinking and doing drugs is insane. I think people like this need to be arrested, because this isn't just bad judgment. This is criminal behavior, especially the partying with the minors thing, who's drinking and doing drugs. If you know the city is in trouble, why on earth would you throw a massive party where you know there's a high chance it's not going to end well? And the fact that he didn't see anything wrong with this, that is alarming, beyond alarming, actually. He seems to be pretty young. I believe he's like 22, but we have to do better. We cannot keep putting children in positions to be harmed or hurt. I cannot stress this enough, because Chicago is like a hellhole right now. And the fact that he knows that it's a war zone and he still chooses to host parties and acts like these receipts he's showing are somehow brilliant is amazing. It just shows how much of lack of accountability, lack of critical thinking skills, lack of common sense people have. And he's a teacher. Amazing. No. But trust the experts, right? Trust the experts. That's what they tell you. And the sad part, this isn't just about one reckless teacher. It is about leadership just in Chicago that is just completely reckless. Now, crime is one of the biggest problems in Chicago. And instead of fixing it, Mayor Brandon Johnson seems to be more focused on protecting his own political interests. And here's the reality. Illegal immigration disproportionately affects Black residents in the city. You'd think a Black mayor would care about that, but clearly he doesn't. Instead, he spent about $700 million on illegal immigrants while flat out refusing to work with ICE. Meanwhile, Chicago public schools can't even get the basic resources they need, and youth programs are running on fumes. Let's go ahead and take a look at this clip. Go ahead and take a listen.
And tonight I'm here in Chicago, a place I've been visiting for years and years. I love this city, but I'm sad to say the same thing is happening here. These cities are crumbling under liberal leadership. Chicago has a huge problem with illegal immigration, but Mayor Brandon Johnson refuses to do anything about it. In fact, he's refusing to let police cooperate with ICE.
Would you consider setting up CPD perimeters around public spaces in Chicago?
Many working people and poor people need government to show up for them. The Trump administration has caused so much consternation and division. Look, we are a welcoming city ordinance. Our local police department will not ever cooperate with ICE.
That's a shock that it has a 26% approval rating, but the good news is it's up from 6% in February. Here to react, former Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich. Gov, good to see you tonight. What is the biggest problem that Chicago is facing right now, if you say?
Mayor Johnson and that type of leadership. I mean, he makes Lori Lightfoot, who was a failed mayor, look less bad. Welcome to Chicago, by the way. I hope you brought security with you because it's a city where crime is up, arrests are down, and we're really one of the highest taxed cities in the nation. And this mayor has spent almost $700 million on illegal immigrants at the expense of the poor neighborhoods on the south and west side of Chicago, the very people the Democratic Party claims they're for.
So clearly he needs to go. He is bankrupting the city. He doesn't care about the city. And yet he's patting himself on the back like he is making some type of change. They had to pull officers from O'Hare and downtown to deal with this mess because apparently babysitting 1,000 drunk teens and young adults is now CPD's is in their job description. That should have been addressed immediately, and something should have been in place to make sure it never happens again. But here's the problem. Too many people think that if no one ends up dead, seriously hurt, that it's not a big deal. No, it is a big deal because the goal is to prevent things, to be proactive and not reactive, like Neighborhood Hero said. And that's where Chicago is failing. There's this movement called Chicago Flips Red, and this lady is basically pleading with Chicagoans to open their eyes. So let's go ahead and take a listen to that.
I don't know what is it going to take for you all to get your head up out of the sand. Chicago, we are bankrupt. I don't know if you all heard it, but CPS is bankrupt. We are facing a $734 million deficit after the Brandon administration spent over $600 million giving illegal aliens free everything. Now, because they prioritize illegal aliens over the citizens, now they have to lay off, 432 teachers and 677 special ed assistants. We've been trying to warn you all. Chicago Flips Red. We've been screaming from the rooftop. We've been trying to warn you guys. We are bankrupt. The Democratic Party, Governor Pritzker, just in the 2025 alone, spent the budget he spent for illegal aliens is $2.5 billion. Governor Pritzker has spent and is planning on spending $2.5 billion for illegal aliens alone just for the year 2025. We've been trying to warn you all. These people do not care about the citizens, the American citizens, the Illinoisans, or Chicagoans. They don't care. We are bankrupt.
This lady right here is a warrior because she is not backing down, and she is trying to do exactly what I'm trying to do, and that's wake people up. Not just to align with my ideas, but to make them think for themselves and understand what is being done to them. Because a lot of people are just so used to the nonsense that they don't want to realize that damage that has been done until it's too late. We have to do better at being accountable for what's happening in our neighborhoods, for what we're allowing to do with our children, and even the education of our children, because right now it is a complete shit show all the way around. And there's no other way to put it. It's a shit show, and it will continue to stink until we do something about it. Now, to be clear, this isn't just about this party. This is about a culture that refuses to hold itself accountable, leadership that refuses to lead, and a city that refuses to put its own people first. We've got teachers acting like gang promoters, parents acting like they're raising roommates instead of children, and a mayor who's more worried about illegal immigration than the bleeding children in his own city. And you wonder why Chicago looks the way it does. You wonder why every year the murder rate spikes, why education scores drop, and nothing changes. It's because we keep normalizing dysfunction, defending dysfunction like it is a culture worth saving, and voting for the people that feed off of it. Might I add, 2 generations from now, if this continues, there will be nothing left to recognize. No values, no standards, no future worth bragging about. And if you think that that is harsh, wait until the next generation inherits this wreckage. Because I'm telling you right now, they won't be rebuilding anything. They'll be dancing on the ashes. Nobody is coming to save us. Not BLM, not Brandon Johnson, not the so-called community leaders. So here's the truth. The only way this changes is if the people live in it decide enough is enough. Stop celebrating the hood, stop excusing the behavior, start valuing life, order, and education again. Because if we don't, the only thing we'll be passing down is a blueprint for destruction. All right, guys, I'm going to get into some of you guys' comments. MS says, very hard-hitting content. That video on uneducated kids was shocking. I see it in the college culture too, folks getting degrees but not earning them unless in the workforce. It is an issue that will only get worse as social media, Gen AI, and medical decay persist. We need to do better as a society. You know what? I totally agree. I think the whole trust the experts thing is kind of dumb. Not gonna lie, because a lot of the time people just are basically indoctrinated with lies, and a lot of people don't even realize it because they're so proud of their degrees and they're so proud of, the piece of paper that they're not even critically thinking anymore. So I totally agree. And I appreciate you for supporting the channel. Joseph Erickson says, I'd rather make you a coffee, make you a latte, but I'm happy to buy you one instead. Recently subscribed, white boy here. I love your content and viewpoint. I hope you can help heal our cultural division and sow healthy ideas to the Black community. You know what? I think, the white community and the Black community have a lot of things in common, more than we know. And, we've been basically pushed to be against each other for most of my life and probably even before that. So I think we are the people that has been in the country the longest. So we should have a say and we should love each other. We should be, at least cordial and have some mutual respect for each other at the very least. All right. So someone says, hi, Carmen. I think the message you're spreading needs to be heard. I also think you're brave for stepping up. This has to come from inside the community because any other race would just be shouted down. Even you are taking heat for it. I, for one, never thought the problem was about skin color, but much more about the 50 years of destructive Democrat policies that have exchanged the father in the home for the government. Keep up the great work. You're making a difference. I totally agree with what you say about the fathers in the home because I think that is the root to the issue. The fathers that are not there and Black women are leading the child. They're leading the charge, excuse me. And they're doing a horrible job. Unfortunately, they're doing a terrible job and they're not paying attention to their children. Justice Holt says, thank you for everything that you do. Thank you, Justice. Nate says, your perspective and voice is very valuable. I'm super supportive. I can imagine the journey is thankless at times. Please keep grinding. You're doing incredible work and I admire you for it. Thank you so much, Nate. It is a journey and it just feels like what I'm supposed to do. Not even money or anything like that. It just feels right. And money is not going to matter if the country goes down, just so everybody knows. Okay. Tracy Shearer says, thanks. Cheeto says, thanks. Gentle B-Star says, thanks. 62 Benny says, you're a gem. I appreciate all of you guys. Org says, thanks. I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you for the support. And I just hope that I can continue to spread this message and you guys will stay on the journey with me. All right. So John Yu says, truth is beautiful. Thank you. I appreciate you, John Yu. Kim Cochran. She didn't say anything, but she just supported the show. So thank you, Kim Cochran. I am Carmen JC. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, or drop a super thanks or tap the buy me a coffee link below to support the channel and support the work that I'm doing. I love you guys so much. I appreciate you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time.
Conscious culture, we awaken and we learn. Fire in our spirits, watch the system as it burns. Question every lesson, let the real truth return. We break the mold, and now it's our turn.